What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of The Extra Yard. It's been 2 weeks since we had an episode, and that is all Juan's fault.
That is me. I was
100%
in Colorado.
Juan's fault.
Cloud9.
Like, you got to get your life together, Juan, okay? You can't just be leaving. We have obligations.
My girl was great enough, and she's behind me, so I have to throw her the shout out to last the whole season, being the rock that she is. So, I had to give her a little trip.
Okay. Was it because of, did you make any GameStop money? Is that how you paid for it? Is that what we're...
Nah. See, I actually traded some Bitcoin, and then that's kind of, no.
Can I please, wait, speaking of GameStop, I saw a tweet just as we were getting out of the counter that says, a share of GameStop stock is currently valued at $344, which means that GameStop would buy it for you for $12.75.
That's still accurate. Not cash. That was
a store credit. Store credit, $12.75.
Oh my god, I love the world.
We've got plenty of stuff to cover. But the most important thing we have to cover is definitely the most current, which is not GameStop, and it stunks. It is the Senior Bowl. The Miami Dolphins are coaching the Senior Bowl. We are coaching the Senior Bowl not because we were the third overall pick. All those teams ahead of us passed, right? It's always one NFC and one AFC team, right? And then
I bet they all regret it too.
Ahead of us at 18 all passed. So for whatever reason, the Dolphins are coaching. It's a good time to be there. It was really hard to scout players. Juan, what kind of advantage do the Dolphins have with this? Like, what's the most important thing that they're going to get out of being at the Senior Bowl?
So, I go back and forth with this, right? I really question why a team would want to give up this chance, and not just on like a regular season, but during this whole COVID pandemic season where we're probably going to be limited seeing face-to-face interaction with players. The combine is already canceled. So for me, this is probably one of the few times that we're going to have face-to-face, real live, what would you do during this play? What would you do during that play? What would you react to this? And just the fact that we are seeing guys who normally probably didn't even think about going to a Senior Bowl, like Devontae Smith, like Najee Harris, where they're coming in, and it's obviously because they're trying to, see what's going on with the Dolphins, pick 3, pick 18. And it seems like we're showing back, some reciprocal love too as well.
Yep. Kai, what do you think about it?
I didn't understand it at first. When they were talking about multiple teams kind of bowing out and not saying that not from the Dolphins side, just in general, when they were saying that there were a lot of teams that were saying, no, it's okay, we'll pass. Again, like Juan said, and I think it's just going to be a clear theme throughout the rest of the offseason, especially if some teams end up, in a poor situation because of whatever's happening with scouting. I mean, the NFL, I can't remember if it was a confirm report, but the NFL had mentioned that they were, and correct me, Michael or Juan, if my memory doesn't serve me right here, that they weren't going to have facility visits for prospects, something along those lines because of COVID.
Yeah, there's no combine for sure. They're going to have pro days. I don't think you're allowed to bring anybody in.
Yeah, so now there's nobody bringing in.
Thinking about that, that's a huge and crucial. I mean, you get a certain amount of people, but that's crucial because you bring in guys that you're really, really looking at, and those are the guys that you really want to get and go after. And you're not going to get that this year because of COVID. Hopefully, for not only the NFL but just the world and everyone's sake, by draft time, things are better, and maybe there are some restrictions lifted and stuff like that.
Yeah. But
an opportunity to go into the Senior Bowl when there's a lot of talent. That usually the Senior Bowl there is a lot of talent, but no one's ever really looking at it like it's these are guys that could be great. Like it's not as hyped up as it is this year, and maybe that's because
it's like busy work getting to the combine basically.
Yeah, right. And maybe that's also and obviously people talk at the Senior Bowl and people talk at the combine and all that stuff like so. That it's crucial, but in the media's eyes, it's never huge. Like it's always who's going to the Senior Bowl. I got my ticket, blah blah blah. But it's not like big. Now I think because of COVID, because of the fact that there is no combine, because of the fact that you're going to get your opportunities only at the
Hollywood.
Hey,
listen, Rob is on everything. Listen, I'm Rob. We love you, man.
Rob, man, you're the best. But
and tech me out. Hold on, tech me out to appreciate you being here. We didn't see this one. Kai, you're in charge of comments, please.
I would look. I'm speaking right now.
So it doesn't matter. You're in charge of comments.
I just think that it's getting a lot more hype and a lot more attention. I mean, today I was watching like the whole entire time that ESPN had, and shout out for I think it was Michael that said it was on ESPN today. In our chat, like being able to like watch that and seeing the coaches, and I know there's a lot of stuff being talked about that, but there's just I think it's just such a great opportunity, and some of the talent that we're seeing this year into the Super Bowl or into the Senior Bowl is just, I mean, it's crazy. And there are people that are getting the opportunities now that weren't talked about a lot that now them or in terms of the media that are going to get a lot of talk. I mean, just even yesterday into a little bit of today. And I know that you guys aren't going to like this just because, you know, it's the fact that it's going to be about the Gators and stuff like that.
No, hold on. We're not going to like it because you say it.
And this isn't Kadarius Toney, although I still think Kadarius Toney is going to make an NFL team very happy. Like Trayvon Grimes wasn't like one of those big options for the Gators. But he was getting a lot of hype yesterday and into today. Then that's true. He was getting a lot of love yesterday and into today. Like there are guys that are going to have those opportunities, and then there's guys that are going to get those opportunities that were seen as maybe first round prospects or high second round prospects who are going to fail. Like there have been a lot of guys that have been having rough days, and that's just going to show, and especially to those coaches and to scouts and everyone else. So there is some negative for those prospects, but for teams, I just don't understand how you couldn't have taken this opportunity.
Look, I feel like we're going to run into some problems when we do our mock draft later tonight, and in every mock draft we do until we're fully educated, because I feel like all we're going to do is be like, I don't know many of these names.
Alabama.
No. We're going to look at Florida and University of Miami, and I'm going to say we should take a guy like and you're going to say, let's take Kadarius Toney.
No. There's been, in my defense, there's only 4 prospects that I think that I've always really, really harped on, and not just from like UF, because of like actually when I actually look at the draft and the times that I've actually, you know, really paid attention, there's only like 4 people, and I know them by heart. It was Akila Witherspoon a couple years ago who got drafted by the 49ers out of Colorado, and his other teammate, I can't remember his name, Chidobe Awuzie, plays for the Cowboys right now.
Cornerback.
Yeah. Jonathan Grenard last year, who was from the Gators. There was another player, I can't remember his name, and then now it's Kadarius Toney. Like, and those are the ones I always. Akila Witherspoon, I wanted really bad. I wanted him really, really bad. He's a free agent this year. He hasn't been. He didn't play too great for the 49ers, but I wanted him extremely bad. But when I actually look into it, there are other people like I don't. It doesn't matter if it's a Gator or not. Like if I know by watching the Gators that you suck, like. I don't care, man.
I feel like the 5th, 6th, 7th round prospects, I can name a handful. I don't know all of them, right? Like when I'm doing mock drafts myself, once I get into those rounds, I'm like, I'm just going to read some reports because I haven't really watched much. I haven't heard much about you. But like we said, the Senior Bowl, there's a lot of big prospects out there. 2 of them in particular, right? They're Tua's old cohorts. Devonta Smith is there.
We're already getting. I thought we would start with something else, maybe.
No, we have to
go straight with Alabama.
Rip the Band-Aid. Rip the Band-Aid.
Big ticket item, right? Look at these thighs. You're gonna tell me you don't want those thighs on your team? You're gonna tell me you don't want those thighs on your team? That's what I'm saying. Saquon Jr. Look at these measurables. Juan, talk to me about these measurables, man. You sent me this.
He's 6'1", 230. And you know, obviously in the college atmosphere, sometimes you do get that, you know, that home cooking. You might be 6 foot, they put you 6'2". You might be 205, they put you 210. But yo, he's solidly 6'1", 230.
He's built, dude.
Yo, and I'm so excited to see him run his 40, because if he can even get a 4.5, dude, he's solidly in the first round, man. And his hand measurements, like we're not gonna geek out like over like his like size of like his bicep, but like. The dude's impressive, man. The dude's impressive.
I feel like Juan took his wife to Colorado, his girl to Colorado. Now she's got to worry about Najee Harris. He's going to be coming after Najee. Listen, those guys, I forgot. I shouldn't have put up that picture.
I had to turn the camera a little bit just so she wouldn't see that. That looks too good of a picture, bro.
But yeah, hey, listen, they're both there, right? Look at these guys. They look great in those uniforms. The only thing I'll say is I think they should be in the throwbacks, right? I wish they could be in the throwbacks. They're both there. They're both. Well, one of them is participating limited, right? Najee is limited. Smith is there. He's not participating at all other than whatever meetings and stuff are going on. We've heard Brian Flores talk about them, and I'm just going to bring this up before we get into other prospects, right? We're going to get off the Alabama train at some point. But we had
Eventually,
this
there's other
argument.
teams in college.
Are there really? They never win. So we had this kind of argument on the main thread, right? We talked about Flores' quote, which was basically fit, right, and scheme fit, and their attitude over talent. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to always ignore talent and just look at scheme fit, but there is that balance. I was agreeing with Alfredo Arteaga, who said the scheme fit is important. Just because they're talented doesn't mean you're always going to take them. Juan and Kai, I think you guys are both on the other side. You guys speak your piece, Juan.
I never read that, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so I went through it, and I think I remember messaging you guys and saying like,
I think you did put one thing, so I don't know where you stand. We'll find out tonight.
Yeah.
My biggest thing with that, right, is and he elaborated. I'm talking about Flores later on. I was trying to find it real quick, but one of the first things that caught my eye is he said he's looking for guys like him, and I'm like, okay, so what does that really refer to? Are you telling me that when you're with the Patriots, all 53 plus the 7 practice squad, they're all guys like you? Because to me, I took that a little bit kind of like not necessarily egotistical, but more so like, yeah, I want guys who walk, talk, and look like me because I'm perfect.
Which, hey, and I actually messaged you guys this one. Brian Flores was getting interviewed on ESPNU. Some of those mannerisms and the way he was delivering stuff sounded a lot like Tua's press conferences.
Or does Tua sound like him?
Obviously, Tua sounds like him, right? Like, but that was weird.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. So I got the vibe that it kind of that works when it works and it doesn't when it doesn't. So what I mean that is, let's go back to 2017. Charles Harris, a hard worker, a tough guy, somebody you can depend on and rely on, and a good team fit. But we passed on TJ Watt. And I understand that's just one example of giving up lesser talent for, better fit. But how do you know they're a better fit until they're in the building working with you?
No, but there's things you can find out, right?
I think that ties into the Senior Bowl. Think about that right now.
Right.
And especially if they're looking at the guys in the Senior Bowl, you're going to know if they're going to fit what you want and in your scheme and everything from these guys, at least, because you're working with them every day. Like that for at least for this week. So that in that case, that's a whole different story. Where I stand on everything is I'm in that kind of camp of the people. It's like, I want people who love football. Like, I do want that. But at the same time, every coach, every player, anyone who loves the game will sacrifice something for an insane talent. It like I know that's the quote that he said.
But I don't know about Flores.
I understand
he was
hard
willing
work
to go out
talent when talent doesn't work hard. I get that saying. Trust me, I do. But there's times where a talented player is going to come and you're going to sit there and be like, dang, he's kind of a headache. He could be potentially problematic, but I'm at the point where I can compete for a championship, and I have a team around me that has a culture that can handle that presence, right?
Right.
But
here's the person really quick, like one of the main items and something I think is super crucial in terms of the maybe not Brian Flores thing, Le'Veon Bell. Not that he was such an issue off the field, but obviously in terms of the media eyes, they hate Le'Veon Bell. Well, now they don't because he's a part of the Chiefs. But before, it's true. Before, there was a lot of hatred for Le'Veon Bell. A player taking control of his own fate and his own destiny. They don't like that. Come on now. They hate that stuff.
Right.
When Brian Flores and the Dolphins, reportedly, were willing to offer a 2-year deal because the talent, potentially if he gets back to his old self, is insane. Leonard Fournette, even talking to him, talent was there, and he has had an outstanding playoffs. Yeah. During the year, it wasn't really coming together.
Waiver claim.
But guess what? You go big in the things that matter the most.
Because here's the one that's coming up, because you mentioned, right, the Charles Harris and TJ Watt thing. TJ Watt was a very hard worker. TJ Watt didn't blow up in his college tape, right? People kept saying, he might get drafted higher than he should because of his name, right? Because of his brother. Charles Harris was talked about like crazy. That was also a different regime too, right? That was a different time. That to me isn't a great example. I think one that
Greer was still here.
Well, yeah, and Greer's made mistakes. Greer has had bad drafts,
but
right?
Greer wasn't the main. I'm a Greer truther, but even then, Greer wasn't the guy. That was Tannenbaum.
But he was like draft stuff.
He was GM. He was general manager.
It has to
Let's
go
be
through
real.
him.
Mike Tannenbaum.
that was a different
was
time.
making the dealings.
By the way, did you guys see what Mike Tannenbaum said about
Yes.
Devontae Smith?
Yes.
Tavon Austin.
I don't listen to that.
Tavon Austin.
We just don't listen to him.
There's a reason why he's on ESPN, Juan.
I had somebody come on and tell me, well, it's all narrative based because when Brett Favre said that Devontae Smith was Randy Moss, everybody believed him. And I'm like, what are we even talking about?
Dude, really quick, a quick side note here. What is it with everybody in player comps? I absolutely despise player comps.
Hold on. The danger of player comps is you expect that, right? Like people said, Tua, Drew Brees, you're expecting Drew Brees right away.
Why is this why?
But I
understand in terms of the games and everything, but consistently harping and having this person, this is who they're going to be. In the NFL,
you have to translate it to the NFL. You have to translate it to the NFL, and they're going to be different.
Player is exactly the same.
No, but you can say they have similar body types, right? Because then you have a lot of people.
But that's different. I'm talking about directly saying this person is going to be this person in the NFL. There's no other way around it. Like player comps.
But those are usually the people that we don't listen to for draft advice, right?
Those are also the people that are the ones that are the most popular on all the sites. Not that they know anything, but you get what I mean. Like the player comps has become such a, and I understand it for some things, and I can see certain things. But I think on a quick tangent, yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I read Shaka Tony there, who's also in the Senior Bowl, and that I completely got thrown off. You have certain situations where it's just like, why are you going to continuously make comps for people, and especially like Tua? Like, imagine if Tua isn't or is more. I don't know. I hate player comps. Like I sticking to one and making it very, very firm.
Saying if they're going to end up like this player, I think is where it's different. But saying they play like that player, I think is fine. And that's where we just got to figure out who they are. But on the Senior Bowl, I want us all to go through now because there's some more stuff I want to bring up on the Senior Bowl, including the coaches, right? And the way they talk and everything, because having them mic'd up was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. And we'll talk about that later. But since we're talking about prospects,
line coach.
Everybody say who their favorite Senior Bowl prospect is that they've watched, right? That this
Amari
week was
Rodgers.
This is the guy I want. No, go ahead. Amari Rodgers. I can tell. Yeah. Listen, dude, you're bro.
No,
did you see a picture of his thighs too, or what are we?
I don't know, bro. I saw his weight measurements, and I'm like,
these measurements,
bro. He's shorter than Tony, and he weighs 20 pounds more than him. And you look,
isn't this similar to Waddle?
I think
Waddle's 5'9", right?
Yeah, Waddle might be actually very similar to that. Obviously, Waddle might run a little better than him. But Amari is left me really, really impressed, man. And his ability once you actually watch him practice, he can't get like jammed up. Like nobody has been able to put hands on him. And he's so quick and just strong, man. Like I feel like it's like a Deebo Samuel's like literally lookalike. And I know you don't want to do comps, Kai, but it's just the body type. How he runs, how he moves.
That stuff is different.
I see. Yeah,
that stuff is different in my mind. I can see those. It's just when they're like, oh, the way that they ran this route is the same way that this person ran that route. No, it's just like when it gets too analytical, it's like, dude, come on now.
Yeah. All right, Kai, favorite prospect, and we're not gonna double down. All right, somebody else already said to come up with another one, so no Amari Rodgers for you. And
you already know who I'm going to say.
No Tony. No Tony.
Somebody else. He's not going to work out. He's not. It's Florida. No.
Yo, Mike, I know that you respect to Ethan Skolnick, bro. Because
I will make you a bet. I will make you a bet right now. Let's make a bet right now on Kadarius Toney and his career. What do you think he is? Because you're high on him. Oh, okay.
What are you saying the bet is?
Are we doing friendly bets like Skip and Shannon, like we're betting Mountain Dew or what?
No, I'm betting $3,000.
Oh my God!
I'd be in trouble
again.
Those stocks,
$3,000.
No. We can just do like $10. Just $10.
Listen, bro, I'm
think
fine
by
with
the end of his rookie season, I think Kadarius Toney might have.
It's like an Uber Eats coffee.
Might have 250 yards receiving, and that's it. Maybe a touchdown.
Damn,
you think that he gets injured then? Because that's
for real.
Listen, Gators bias aside, there's no way that you can look at Kadarius Toney and really think, unless something goes horribly wrong, like There's
Maybe he
no
goes
way
to
you
the
can think that
Chiefs.
he isn't
Maybe
at least a
he goes to
starter.
the Chiefs and he just goes to wide receiver 5 and 6.
Exactly.
Dude.
If he gets drafted late in the first round, he's going to go to a team that's pretty set, right? He's
Listen,
probably going to get put on special
if
teams.
that's
Mike.
what you're banking on, you can't. All right,
Fine,
within
fine,
the
fine, fine.
with
No,
the
no,
You don't want to
Chiefs,
hedge
if he
yourself a
gets
little bit,
put on
Mike.
like the Chiefs,
Fine. What's
that-
your line?
that does
What's your
not-
line for Tony? What's your line for Tony?
I would
End of
say
rookie season.
like 550,
I was
550 yards.
gonna say
three
450
on
and
that?
3 touchdowns. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
453 touchdowns.
453 touchdowns? Okay, let's go. Let's just round it out to
If
500.
if he
just
lands
round
on
it
the
out to
Chiefs, then
500.
this bet is null and void. All
No,
right.
He's as good as you say. He should get into that lineup.
Yo, there's nobody that's getting it. There's a Gator on the Chiefs, by the way, that played a prominent role. But just I'm not gonna. Anyways, wide receiver.
Is that,
Okay,
is that DeMarcus
500,
Robinson?
500 yards,
Yes.
500 yards, 3 touchdowns. He
I
has to
said
hit.
453 touchdowns.
You're not going to give me 50 yards for 3 touchdowns?
I bet.
All right, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, end of his rookie season, $10. We're good.
That sounds good.
Virtual
Listen,
shake.
look,
Give me somebody else other than Kadarius Toney.
I can't, dude. I'm telling you. I just listen, man. It's just something about Kadarius Toney, man. He made Kyle Trask had a great season, but he made Kyle Trask.
Dwayne Estridge.
That's
good.
for Michael. He
Oh,
made
that's not mine.
Kyle Trask look like an actual Heisman candidate when Kyle Trask is not a Heisman caliber candidate.
Sorry, listen.
Damn, friends of 5. All right, forget him. He's gone.
Oh, and this.
I took him off the board. He's off the board.
You can't get out off the board. He's part of the network.
No, I'm talking about. No, not them, bro. I'm talking about Amari's off the board.
Amari's off the board just like that.
Gone.
It's just while watching Kadarius Toney play and the impact that he had on the Gators offense, that was not the Gators offense that was last year. I think a lot of people look at that Gators offense and they think about Kyle Pitts and they think about Kyle Trask because that Kyle to Kyle. And even with Trevon Grimes, like I'm not saying that Trevon Grimes is going to be out here and make a huge impact on an NFL team and be some starter huge down the road. Who knows? Because any prospect can do that. Literally, it could happen to anybody, undrafted free agent, 7th rounder, 6th rounder, however it is. But there's what Kadarius Toney did for this offense this season is the same thing, and why I like Jonathan Grenard so much last season. And again, yeah, I know he was a Gator drafted by the Texans. Was the same reason why I loved him so much is because he just made such a huge impact on that offense. And you could see when Kadarius Toney was out of the game, that offense did not function well.
Yep.
You saw it in the Alabama game. You saw it in the LSU game. He took over drives by himself. In that drive in the LSU game where they had gotten God, I can't remember his name right now. Man, he's gonna be so pissed at me. Evan McPherson into field goal range and he missed, which was shocking.
Are we really just having Gators?
Kadarius, listen, I need you because this is serious.
Juan and I are like, bro, nobody cares about the Gators.
Manny's somewhere smiling. Manny's somewhere smiling right now.
He is. No, but in that drive, he took over on his own and he had been dealing with injuries. He was not right. And he took over that drive completely on his own and had that mentality of give me the ball and I'm going to make a play.
Sure, listen,
I
genuinely think Toney can
I will hedge
because he's a Gator.
I will hedge my bets on this with this valuable $10 because I think that Kadarius Toney
$10 will be worth one GameStop stock in a year when we actually exchange the money.
It won't even be worth one, dog. You could get multiple for that $10 in a couple of years.
5 has spoken.
Ceiling is probably wide receiver 3. Listen,
I agree with friends of 5. That sounds like a less than 500-yard receiver to me.
Listen, we give.
I mean, if you talk about the Dolphins wide receiver 3, it was like less than 200.
Let me die on a ship here really quick and have my swan song really quick, right?
Yeah.
I want to put this out there for all of the listeners. Bless Ethan Skolnick. I'm not going to curse on this, although in my mind I should. I just want to make sure that everyone knows, and I don't want to put down our credibility or anyone else's, but nobody that you follow knows anything. I just want to be perfectly honest with that. Any prospect at any time, you can believe their opinions, and this isn't a Friends on 5 diss. I'm just saying you can believe everything that they're saying, and there are people that are better talent evaluators than I am, 100%. All I want to say is there are people Yeah, there are people who predict these players to be A or B, and they turn up being way more than they were or way less than they were.
Yep.
So
they'll plan for them to be
this is a
CD
guessing
players.
game. This is a guessing game. We know how.
Yeah,
guessing
I just want to say,
it's
like,
make the most
literally
educated
going
last
guess you
season,
can.
like,
it's a casino, and you need as many chances as you can.
Yeah, which is fine.
that's
Listen.
all I want to say. You know,
Look, we talked about wide receivers. One
Alabama running
it's
backs
not-
couldn't do anything, and then Derrick Henry took off.
That's
Like,
I feel like he's
So-
only fired up because it's a Gator. Like I feel like
No,
if it
I'm
was
just being-
anyone
I
else,
love it.
If you listen to Kai's
right now.
corner, if you listen to
we'll
Kai's
have plug
corner,
time. We'll have plug time.
you
You're
would
good.
know
Shameless
on
plug.
SideRadio.com, Saturdays from 1 to 2. Shameless plug. You would know that I've already had this thing where, I've been on this kind of train for a while because, like, we all see what we see and we all like what we like. But I'm a firm believer, like, even the greatest talent evaluators get it wrong. It just everything, it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
So
We know how it goes. One
You know.
name that talent evaluators are really blowing up lately, and he's not my favorite guy, and I'll bring him up, but just because we're on wide receivers, is what is it, Dwayne Estridge, right? That's how you
Yeah.
pronounce it, or is it? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Dwayne.
yeah.
So
That's
here's a
what I was
little
thinking.
clip. Here's a little clip of him in a one-on-one. That's just look at this.
Look at his
Look at
hands. Ooh,
Oh,
I
God,
love
he's
it,
gone.
bro. And
He's
he cuts him
gone.
back. Cuts him back.
He's got
Ooh,
that spin move
finish.
too. Oh.
Finish. Switches the ball. I love
Over.
it. Yeah,
It's over.
no,
Look,
I love
he's
it.
a really good pick. Of the wide receivers that I've watched, he's the one that's really jumped out to me. but-
And this is how I explained it. Sorry to cut you off, Mike. Is that we have a lot of peanut butter in Devontae, Preston, Gesicki, and we need a jelly. And we need a smaller, shiftier, quicker receiver who can go in the slot, who can kind of dominate. And I feel like these guys could be our jelly, bro.
That's the
We got our
weirdest
peanut butter
analogy
jelly.
I have ever heard.
What do
for
you
wide
mean, dog?
receivers.
You never heard Dwayne Wade and LeBron James peanut butter jelly? The
That's
same thing.
completely different than saying that possession receivers are peanut butter and fast
Of
receivers
course.
are jelly.
Think about it. Possession receivers are boring, stale. They
who's
move
the-
the chains.
Who's the
They're
possession receiver on
smaller.
the Chiefs? Who's the possession receiver on the Chiefs?
Kelsey.
Come on. I'm talking about wide receiver, and even then, who's the possession wide
I'm
receiver on the
sorry.
Chiefs?
If you get
Time
1,400
out.
yards
Time out. Who's
receiving,
the
you're a
possession-
receiver.
But that's not a possession if you're getting 1,400 yards. Possession wide receivers don't get 1,400 yards.
Shameless plug. What's the Florida dude's name?
Which one? Like
The
which?
one on the one of the Chiefs.
Demarcus Robinson.
Possession. Peanut butter.
Okay,
Boring.
they're one boring
Jelly?
guy, never gets on the field. They're just destroying everyone with jelly.
Whoa!
That's all they're doing. That's all they have to do.
Chill.
They have the jelly when it comes to Patrick Mahomes.
That's a weird analogy. I'm gonna move past it because if not, we can. I would
like it.
literally debate you on this for an hour. My guy that we need to get to
Look
is
at
Creed.
Cap. Get him,
What?
Cap.
What are you saying?
Cap wants his jelly. He knows.
Hold on. I don't have a
He knows.
problem with jelly. I think jelly's more important than peanut butter in this
Nah,
analogy.
bro.
I'm just
You
saying it's a
sound
weird
like a
analogy.
peanut butter dude, bro. You sound like you put no jelly on your bread.
I
you
don't.
just
I
picked peanut
actually don't like jelly. Like
Yeah,
if
you
I'm
see?
actually eating this out, I don't like jelly.
Yo, Michael, you sound like you cut the edges off your toast, bro.
You know what? You sound like kind nothing because you're not on screen.
Oh, really?
But the guy that I have is like don't miss, right? The guy that I really want to go after is Creed Humphrey, which I know we've all
I
been pretty
like
high
him,
on
man.
Creed Humphrey the
I
whole
like
time.
Left-handed,
He's
left.
kind of dropped a little bit, right? Because last year, if he came out, people
He's like
had
a
him late first round.
Yeah.
He played this year. He didn't sit out, right? Like I
No,
think
I believe
Creed
he
Humphrey
played.
actually played.
No, he played.
Right.
I just don't think Oklahoma played the whole season. I don't think they played 10 games.
No, but he's dropped in like mock drafts and everything the second round. I need us to get Creed Humphrey because every time I watch him in a one-on-one, the guy
Peanut
he's
butter
up against does absolutely nothing. Juan, you saw that too, right?
Yeah, I did. He's good, man. And if you really kind of look at it a little deeper, it's kind of interesting. He's a left-handed center, the only one I think who would be in the league, period, with the only left-handed starting quarterback. So I mean, the storyline does fit. The storyline is there, and he is a good player. And
He looks
I
strong. He looks ready for it, man.
looks like an ox, bro.
He looks
Yeah.
ready for it. And I loved watching that offensive line segment, right? Because so for those of you that don't know, the Senior Bowl was being broadcast on ESPNU today. Obviously, it's not the game, it's just the practices. And when the Miami Dolphins were on, we had a bunch of coaches mic'd up. I'll just say this one real quick just to get out. Gerald Alexander is going to be gone
Future
within a
head
year.
coach.
He's going to be
Future
gone
head
within a
coach.
year. He sounds
So
fantastic.
good.
He looks like he's ready to
So
fill the role.
impressive, man.
Next year, he's going to be at worst a defensive coordinator, either here or somewhere else, probably somewhere else. But that guy looks great. But then the other guy is our new offensive line coach, Jean-Pierre. I think his first name is Lemuel. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it fine.
Lemuel, I think.
He had a segment where he was asking a player about, their stuff. And I just want to bring that up because that was super interesting. So
Oh.
Did I miss it? Yeah, you did. How'd it go? I mean, I'm gonna look at myself.
He said it was a real rivalry. He wouldn't have got to the quarterback. He just came and hand swiped outside and just ran.
Hey, two was mobile.
Huh?
Two was mobile.
That's that one.
He will. Hey, I told Ash. I know we do yesterday. Come on.
I accidentally hit again. I'm going to give
Who was mobile?
At Miami Callouts was the one that actually put that on Twitter. Like, that's whose video I got. Multiple people put it on there.
That was,
but that was
Robert Hainsey. Robert Hainsey. I'm looking it up.
The Notre Dame lineman.
Yeah, and two things that caught me interested with that. One is that our O-line coach came back to him and said, "Hey, did I miss it?" Mm-hmm. So he's already having his eye on him, so that's key. And then the second part is after he gives his explanation, he goes, "Oh yeah, Tua is mobile, don't worry." Yeah. And the O-lineman, I don't think he even understood what he said the first. He's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, don't worry. Tua's mobile. You're good."
Yeah. Tua's mobile, he'll step up because the guy was so far in the backfield. Look, we want to read into everything. We all know where we all stand on the quarterback stuff. We talked it before. We're not going to talk it until it becomes big news again.
Apparently, according to some news outlets today, Deshaun Watson is being traded to the Miami Dolphins 100%. So,
yeah. What? They didn't say that. Okay, I'm going to give them a little bit more credit than that. They said that the Miami Dolphins were the front runners behind the scenes. Whether or not the Dolphins are interested, we don't know. But obviously, they're high on Tua, right? They brought him up. You're not just going to bring up Tua randomly like that, right? Like, yes, he is your quarterback, but that's a really weird connection to make, whether it's he's in love with that lineman or not. Thought that was super interesting. But talking about coaches, he is soon going to be working for someone else, right? Our offensive line coach is going to roll up to a coordinator. Who that coordinator is going to be is still up in the air. Is the coordinator?
We know who it's going to be.
Is the coordinator somewhere else? This is the name that's getting really popular.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good looking offensive coordinator, if you ask me. You see that jersey? How it doesn't have a really ridiculous gator. It has this beautiful orange and green.
Really quick.
Those jerseys are pretty nice, and I'm not a
Look
Hurricanes
at
fan.
that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why do you think I hate the Hurricanes?
I don't. I just want you to know that I hate the Gators, and I will never like them.
Say, I've worked at UM multiple years. Like, I have a lot of friends that go to UM. Like, I don't hate the Canes. Like, I want to make that perfectly clear to people.
Oh no, I hate the Gators. I come at you because I hate.
I hate FSU. We
can both agree on that as well.
Everybody hates FSU. That's not even.
But there's a lot of chatter with Ken Dorsey that some people are saying, "Oh, but if Ken Dorsey wasn't a UM quarterback, would you still like him for offensive?"
All right, so this is my time.
This is Kai's time.
This is my time, right? Okay,
Kai's corner.
I did. Every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. on OnSiteRadio.com. You can find the podcast from your favorite podcast app when you search up Kai's Corner. I have that memorized now. So, shout out Michael, by the way. Game night every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m.
I was going to play later, but please.
Shameless plug. So, I have been talking about Ken Dorsey a lot.
In stock, we will talk about this once he's done with his stuff. Like, we'll get to it. I know you're asking a bunch of questions, but yeah.
So once the season ended, or even before then, I've been really high on Ken Dorsey. And every time I tweet about it, I've said Michael and Juan can back me up. If you want to look back at the live streams the last 2 weeks of the season into the rest of the live streams that we've done since then, I've been really high on it because of a few things. Josh Allen has talked very highly of him and had talked highly of him on the Pat McAfee show as well, which is where I first had kind of gotten into that. And then just in general, Sean McDermott has, Brandon Beane, the GM has, they've all been extremely high on Ken Dorsey. And so I wanted to kind of look more into it, not just because this is, a contender. We can take him from another team that's in our division. The work that he's done and the relationship that Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have documented very clearly that Dorsey and Allen have is one of the main keys that Allen has had such a good year this season. And continuously, and I know it might suck for some Dolphins fans, if Aaron Rodgers did not have the season he had, Josh Allen would be accepting an MVP award at the end of this week. Like it just that's how it would be. Josh Allen played at that level this year. As much as it might hurt, he did. And that team was just like they played outstanding. Sean McDermott will probably end up winning Coach of the Year. Like they outstanding. Although I think a lot of us will agree that Brian Flores should. If they made the playoffs, Brian Flores probably would have. But Sean McDermott will most likely win that award unless for whatever reason they give it to the Packers. That would be insane. But Dorsey did a lot of work with Allen. Now, credit to Allen because he worked a lot with Jordan Palmer over the summer on fixing his throwing motion and fixing, was he using too much of his hips? Was he using too much of his arm? How he was, throwing the football and really working on it mechanically with technology as well to figure out what it was that he was using too much, what it was that he was not putting enough into, and it fixed a lot of his accuracy issues. And that was great for him. Like he was still kind of in there a little bit, and you saw it a little bit towards the beginning of the year, but he was making the steps which you want to see out of your franchise quarterback. I know that this is a lot of Bills love and talk, and I'm sorry, Dolphins fans, but it's just true. He was making those steps, and that's what you want to see out of your franchise quarterback. And the step that he made from year 1 to year 2 with Dorsey, just in general, when he first came on, was already a pretty good step. It still wasn't great, but it was already a pretty big step. And then from 2 to 3, he made an extremely big step. And every single person that the Bills have in their organization that matters, from Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott, to their franchise quarterback, has cited specifically that the relationship that he built with Josh Allen is one of the reasons why Allen flourished so much this season.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned it, he did great with Cam Newton too, right? Like Cam Newton's MVP.
So that's what I get. Cam Newton's MVP season was also critical from Dorsey. Now, the way that he had ended up leaving obviously wasn't the greatest. You want your head coach or your quarterback coach not to get fired, but originally he was hired to be scouting department.
But it's because
went into being the quarterback coach.
The ball accurately more than 10 yards.
Bingo, that's also true.
Yards. So the
thing
fact
about
that he made him look like an MVP is incredible.
Ken Dorsey was doing great work. And when you look at some, because up until there's some videos from this season and practices and stuff like that, but obviously with COVID, there's less. But there are videos out there. You can find them on Twitter. You can find them in articles. There are a lot of Buffalo newspapers that have a lot of videos out there as well. I did the research, and some of it was horrible to listen to, or whatever. Dorsey worked very closely with Allen, and Josh Allen had an outstanding season and improved on a lot of things. And again, what he cited was, yes, Brian Dable on the offensive coordinator side and doing a lot of things, but his relationship with Ken Dorsey and how Ken Dorsey worked specifically with him and the way that Ken Dorsey did those things, that is who I want to now follow and teach to the NFL game.
And so then, Juan, I'll hit it to you because, Finstock brings it up. At the Senior Bowl, it's Godsey and Studsville kind of splitting the role, right? Of offense. Yeah. Why haven't they? What's going on there, right? What's going on with Godsey?
I just think that at this point, Flores and the guys at 3 yards carry, they did a good job. I think it was last week's episode where they kind of broke down, and I hadn't even realized this really, that Studsville was really the assistant coach last year. And
he's been here for 2 regimes now.
Exactly. So in terms of like, if we're talking like totem pole pecking order, it should be Studsville. But Godsey seems to have found, his kind of like be kind of Flores' guy. And I think what they're going to end up doing, and Omar has talked about it a lot, Omar Kelly, they're going to probably end up doing a run game / pass game coordinator. And this is kind of like the test dummy or test sample that we're having, to where it's, okay, how does it work in the Senior Bowl? Does it work in practice? Can they work during the game? Who's going to be calling them? Is it going to be alternating? And we've kind of seen that this week, where it's partly Godsey, partly Studsville, and it's kind of like a trial and error to kind of see, do we even need to get a coordinator?
But then who's in charge?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think there would be a one person in charge. I think what they would do is kind of like how they do it on defense. It's a collective effort with Flores and Boyer, where it would be a collective effort with.
But there's a clear line there, right? Like if Flores and the DC disagree, they can have the talk all they want. But if Flores says this is what we're going with, that's what we're going with. Neither of them are over the other.
Well, so then let me ask you this, because I think one of the issues that we had last season towards the end was part of Flores' frustration was that he would tell Chan Gailey, hey, I need more up tempo. I need you to be quicker. And it would be like pulling teeth to get that done.
Yeah.
And I feel like it got to a point where Flores is kind of more so, let me take control of this offense. But I feel like Boyer last year, he kind of earned his stripes. He learned what he had to do and what not to do. And this year, let's try to see if Godsey and Studsville can kind of do it together. And if there's a differences, then they'll just defer to me and I'll make the ultimate decision.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll figure it out if they decide to do it like that. Personally, I prefer it to be a very clear line, right? Like have one be the offensive coordinator, have one be the running game coordinator, but one, is clearly ahead of the other, whichever way they want to do it. But then Finzlock also brings this up, which I have seen circulating online, right? People worrying about Flores and all the turnover with the coaches. And I'll take that one. And all I'll say is, if you don't like the fact that we're changing coaches and you think it's an indictment on Flores, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Right? From the standpoint of the offense has not performed well enough. Excuse me. The offense has not performed well enough at all. The seasons we've had Flores here, right? Flores has done a great job with the players we have had. He's shown a bunch of improvement. He's a defensive guy, and the defense looks great, right? So here's all I'll say on people worrying about the turnover. Flores is not going to stop until he gets it right. He's not.
And also
he's gonna keep bringing in whoever he needs to say you're doing it the way that I think is best for us to win. And when we've figured it out, then it'll stop.
And I have to add too that whoever comes in, whether it's Ken Dorsey, Godsey, Studsville, whoever is the guy as OC next year, if we're a top 10 offense, they're gone.
And I have no problem with a guy saying we weren't good enough. We need a change. I understand that, hey, they're changing systems. The players may not get it right away, but until you feel like you've got it and you get it right, I'm okay with changing the offensive coordinators. I think we're all fine with it. I think Flores is just doing whatever he needs to do to win all the time. Now, I mean, Friends of Five brings this up. I would be confused if they did it a third year in a row.
I mean, we're going back like 6 years in a row.
Let's be real here. All right. If Chad O'Shea was still the offensive coordinator this season, and the offense was the way that the offense was this season again, and Chad O'Shea's offense the year before, though, you can't totally indict him because it wasn't that talented, but the defense wasn't either, and the defense showed up that 5-11 season. So the offense wasn't that talented, but it wasn't.
The offense showed up more than the defense last year. I would say last year the offense.
No, I'm talking about 5-11.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about 5-11 as well.
I think that the defense had more players that were showing promise than the offense had, and the only reason why that offense had anything was because of Fitzpatrick, and that's about it.
No, but
I don't think that it was
the first time we really saw Parker and Gesicki really actually play well.
Right, but I don't think that's
true.
I don't think that that's much of Chad O'Shea.
That wasn't
you looked at that offense and you thought the same thing you thought with old man retirement grandpa this season, which was, what is this? What is this offense? And a lot of the Chad O'Shea and a lot of what we saw with grandpa this season was the same stuff that we would get pissed about with Adam Gase. Like, it was a lot of the same stuff. There was some more grandpa had some creativity. There was some creativity this year with grandpa a little bit. Some execution wasn't there, but a lot of what we saw was the same thing with Adam Gase. So let's say that O'Shea comes on and was there this year, and the offense still looked horrendous, and then he gets fired. You know what the comments are going to be? Why'd you wait one more year? Why didn't you just make the decision then?
Right. Well, and also I think that was more.
It's the same thing with
O'Shea. I think O'Shea was that big throws and that didn't work out.
You want to make the changes and things that you need to do to your team in order to get it right. They talk about with the quarterback. You draft quarterbacks until you get it right. You sign quarterbacks until you get it right. You sign head coaches until you get it right. GMs until you get it right. Like, it's insane to me that this thought process is there, that because
I have to push back a little bit on that one.
I'd agree with this. I'd agree with this. If we do it a third year in a row, because I'm going to tell you right now, I do think Gailey was a mistake.
I don't think listen, there's no way in hell that there's going to be an offensive coordinator fired another year in a row. And I think that truthfully, Brian Flores, although you can take his comments for what they were, and I'll try to cut this one so you can get in as well. I think that he really did think that grandpa was going to return this season. And maybe they had a conversation that night and things just turned the other way and they decided to mutually part ways and Grandpa went back into retirement. But I don't think that was going to happen.
I just feel like, okay, so the way that was worded is if the same position needs to be filled every year, it's an issue, right? I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is if we're firing the guy that we hired, that's the issue, right?
If they got promoted to go elsewhere as a head coach, right? Okay, so from that point, right? But he's talking about firing.
Because let's look at it. If Boyer this year had gotten a job opportunity, we wouldn't have been mad at him. It would have been like, yo, bro, you earned that. You killed it. The defense killed it.
If Alexander got called about a DC job, I would have been fine. But that's different. It's if you have to fill a
100%
firing them.
Yeah, that I agree.
You can't tell me Gailey was purely Gailey. They have. I think they told him it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Yeah,
it wouldn't make any sense to bring him back. My issue with Gailey was this. This time last year, Gailey was already basically 3 weeks into his tenure as the Dolphins offensive coordinator. They hired him basically just as soon as the season ended, right? I think they waited like a week after they fired O'Shea and they brought in Gailey. The reason why this process right now, I think, is taking so long is because they want to be as thorough as possible to, one, make sure they don't have to fire another head coach, offensive coordinator. And two, this is the first time Brian Flores really gets to interview and pick an offensive coordinator like this, right?
And they have the pick of the litter. They're the only people right now.
Yeah, but is everybody available, right? Like even Dorsey. I didn't mention Dorsey much before because I thought Dorsey was going to get that offensive.
Yeah, I thought Dable was going to get promoted.
The fact that Dable doesn't have a job is nuts. My secret theory that I've told you guys, and I wish it could happen, is Eric Bieniemy wants to come be the offensive coordinator here. Hold on. I feel like it could work, right? He's like, listen, everybody thinks I'm just a product of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to go make Tua look great, and
Mike,
it would get head coach.
If he comes and makes Tua look great, he's gone, and we again have to fill the position.
Right, but then that's different. That's not because we fired him.
You're right.
I mean, what are we talking about? But, hey, listen, we got to see what happens with the offensive coordinator position. It's going to be really interesting. Real
quick, last point. Carlos, huge point about Carl Durrell, where it looks and it felt like last season we were going to promote him to be our offensive coordinator. And out of nowhere, and the 3 yards per carry account, they talked about it a lot. We kind of hyped him up as the next OC. Colorado looked and were like, OC for Carl? Why? And they interviewed him and he ended up getting the job. And I feel like that's when he kind of had to pivot and, well, who do I have around? Yo, Gailey, you good off the rocking chair, B? You can come out. All right, slide.
And Gailey was because as much as we all want to say, oh, why didn't they build a system around Tua last year? They were never sure they were going to get Tua. At the point that they hired Gailey, Tua was fresh off that hip injury. We were all debating if he was going to come out. We were still wondering if he was even going to be able to play football again, right?
Like walk, bro. Walk.
So to people that are like, oh, why didn't they hire someone for Tua? What are you going to do? You're going to hire this guy who was brought in, and then 4 months later when you draft a quarterback, okay, now let's get rid of Gailey. I still think it was a mistake, and they should have taken more time with it, but it is what it is.
Just to also quickly point out with Tua, he wasn't supposed to be ready and available to practice until November.
Yeah.
He was practicing in August.
He came back sooner than an ACL injury.
Yeah, I mean,
this was a hip.
16 months. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Daboll wanted the Charger job. I mean, he did want the Charger job. I'm surprised he didn't get it. I think there's a lot of similarities between Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. Granted, I think Herbert played better than Allen did his first season, but the two have big arms, can run.
Best rookie year of quarterback rookie history. Like the dude was a beast.
I mean, I hope he comes down just so that the Chargers Twitter account.
No, I want him to get better. I want Tua to outplay him.
I want all the comparing everything like when they were voting for rookie of the week for anyone else.
Herbert is going to end up being what Phillip Rivers was.
Game, bro.
Every
week that Tua had a good game, they voted for whoever else.
Yep.
And they were so perfect.
One of those weeks, I don't think Tua deserved it. There was a running back who had a crazy game.
I think Jonathan Taylor was one of those.
Yeah, it was like 200 and something yards. But that brings us now to the fun part. We're going to do a mock draft. So this will be our mock draft, right? Just the three of us trying to make a consensus decision on what player outside of the University of Florida we want to draft.
We're Twitter experts, by the way. We're Twitter experts, by the way. Take it easy on us.
Oh, yeah. I know the top. I don't even know top what. I know a decent amount of them, but once you get into like 5, 6, and 7, I'll be like,
bro. Once we get to pick 23, count me out. I'm guessing that's it.
But we do want to bring on people, so we're going to be bringing people on to do mock drafts with them. So we will be doing mock drafts with Alfredo Arteaga. I'd love to get Chris Kaufman on here because he definitely knows the entire draft. CK knows the whole draft. And listen, if you guys aren't following Chris Kaufman for drafted,
that is a shame.
Because he knows all of these guys. And absolutely the 3 yards per carry account there, we're tweeting out today all day about the one-on-one drills going on. So let's do this thing. Wait, does this one have trades? Do we have trades available on this one?
So okay, I think so. Yeah, look, trade. Oh no, exclusive for premium. That's why.
Are you good to use this one?
Listen,
we can use the other one. It's fine.
Here, you know what? This is my big statement on why you should use PFN instead of the Draft Network. Exclusive for premium.
I'm not. Oh my gosh. Well, here, there goes one less sponsor possibility.
Mess out of here, bro.
Wait, are we doing 7 rounds? Are we doing 7 or 5? Look, okay. Let's be honest.
I put it on fast, so it's gonna.
No, I'm not worried about it taking a long time. It's, do we know anybody past the 5th round? Like, I'd love to say we did, but I don't want to have a video we're talking about random picks.
Till you make it, bro. You fake it till you make it.
All right.
Oh, we got our first
Waddle's gone. Waddle's already gone.
Oh,
there's a hard no.
Yeah,
get out of here. That's a no.
We're restarting that.
No, why are we restarting it?
No. That's like
the fantasy draft that goes and takes a tight end.
You guys seem like the kind of guys that would start a Madden game if you were playing with a computer and losing. So get it together. Right?
If I'm getting my
are the Jets just going all in on receiver? Is that what's going on? This is the second receiver they take.
Sure. Okay. Do we agree this is a no, right? That's a bad trade.
No.
Yeah, no.
Wait, PFN doesn't have all of our picks?
They should. I don't know. They should.
We get another first though.
No, I'm not doing that. Down to 16?
Yeah, no. I'm not trading down to 16.
No, I'm not.
The one I want is 8 or 7.
Yeah, 8 or 7 gets offered to me. I think about it. Oh, wait a minute.
Billy scares me.
I do. Okay, you kept that one, right? Oh, this is a no. I don't want to get the Chargers out of here.
Wait, why aren't we doing that Bengals one?
No, we
gotta give up. We gotta give up a peek. Yeah, we gotta give up a peek.
Juan, you look like you're so old. You're just like, what? What's the pick? What's happening?
That's why I was bringing it up. That's why I was bringing it up to this.
Yeah.
Right,
this is a yes. This is a yes. I think. Wait, hold on. Finn. Oh, okay.
We need 2/3.
I'm saying except Bengals.
We need like a 2/3 right here. Well, I think we take this as well. What do you think, Juan?
So then, who cares about what Juan says? We have our 2/3.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wait, but Juan, you agree with that one, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on.
I mean,
wait.
So okay, the only issue I would have with this is
they're trading up for a receiver.
Exactly.
I have no. I have no problem with this. The 2 receivers.
I mean, you're essentially saying whoever Philly doesn't want, we take.
Yeah,
that's
it's not a bad choice between Waddle and Smith.
Exactly.
Listen, I love Devonta Smith. I love Jalen Waddle. Whichever one of the two I go, unless Tua walks into the office one day and is like, to get this one of the two, I'm happy with either of the two. I'd take this trade, but again, we need 2/3.
Yeah,
I would. Cool. Just so we can go through as well. Trevor went first, Jamar Chase second, Penny Sewell goes 3, and then Zach Wilson 4.
Now other than the Jamar Chase pick, that Bengals trade makes a lot of sense. Like I feel
it does make a lot of sense.
Would do that for a tackle.
I think wide receiver to the Jets. I think wide receiver to the Jets could potentially make sense because it's the Jets, but also because it also depends on if they're going to keep Sam Darnold. If they come into this draft, there you go. So Devonta Smith.
So now we're offered. This is a no.
Yeah,
no, we gotta take our guy here.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
wait a minute, Juan.
Dang.
No. That's a 105. That's 105. Screw that.
Yeah. But another first.
I was about to curse. Dang.
Detroit hasn't taken a wide receiver. What do you mean?
No. That's why he's saying you could trade with Detroit because they're just one back.
Yeah, but to pick up another
I don't like the 6 to 7 for like pick 100 and something.
I like this
because the wide receivers are gone. Because the wide receivers are gone, I'd stay and pick Waddle. That's my vote. You guys vote.
The only reason that I could see Carolina wanting to make this move is to go over Detroit to get a quarterback.
Wait, hold on. Cap, I love you, man, but no, I'm not.
Nah.
Wait, no.
Nah, Rob.
Now, if somebody calls me and says I got 2 first rounders for Xavier, hey, listen, I love you, X, but you're gone.
I'm only doing Xavier for Watson.
No.
I'm not trading X for.
We're not talking Watson. We're gonna get in trouble, and people are gonna.
DW, sorry, DW.
Whatever's. Okay, I say no. What do you guys say? On this?
4.
I would say yeah.
I say yeah.
I would
Okay.
say yeah, and just because I feel like the Panthers are jumping up ahead of the Lions for a quarterback.
Oh my gosh, I think we're gonna get left without a wide receiver. Do it. We said yes.
Get it.
Oh,
2 quarterbacks.
That was lucky. Oh my
there we
goodness.
go.
All
Better
right.
to be lucky.
What do you
than
mean
good,
lucky?
Mike.
They're trading Stafford. What do you mean lucky?
That was
Nah, get that out my
Come
screen.
on.
I want my wide receiver.
Yeah, no. Unless we get
Give me my Alabama. Get that out my screen. Where's my Alabama?
Jalen Waddle. We're
Alabama.
all agree
hold on
on
a
this.
second. Hold on a second. I want to make sure.
Bam
What
up.
did we just
Bam
get?
up.
We got a first next
You
year.
got it all.
All right,
You got
so
it
here
all.
we can
Yeah,
answer it.
guy.
We in the Bengals pick, we got 5 and a second rounder, or we traded 5 in our second rounder we got 5 in
3
the
and
second
81.
rounder for
Yeah.
3 and 81.
Okay.
For this trade, they can show all of them perfect because I don't want to have to do all that. Oh, damn. All right, well, for that one, we got 6 and 70 for 5, so we got an extra pick to them to trade up 1. This one, it was 8 for 6, and we got 8 and a first next year. Listen,
I would listen if the Dolphins traded this much in the draft. We traded down 3 times.
Would not be able to go home safe. I'm
No.
telling you right now. If he trades back and lets the Eagles go in front of him to get Devontae Smith,
Yeah.
Twitter
I'm
will
telling
burn.
will
But we're here.
blow
We're
up
good. Let's
worse
get
than
this out of the
the
way. Give me
We got
Jalen
Waddle.
Waddle. If you draft Kyle Pitts, I will kill you.
No. Okay.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
damn, Mike. Damn.
No.
You just said you're gonna kill me. Jeez.
Absolutely. If you pass on Waddle, absolutely.
I'm not taking that trade. This is the only viable one. I still don't
it's
even
not
think
viable. 3 spots in a third? No.
No.
Third.
I'm saying
would-
like in terms
I would
of
only do this, right? And I'm just looking at the teams
Oh, because
going in front. There's nobody who's going after a running back, and I would want to get a running back.
we already
so you'd
rejected
want
it.
to get Najee. No, I didn't reject that. Cause so yeah.
But I'm saying because look, Washington has Gibson, so they're good. Chicago has Montgomery, so they're good. Colts, Colts have Jonathan Taylor, so I feel like if we traded back to that Colts pick, we still might be able to get Najee there.
And you got a third next year, trade bait for something.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And
I
there's a lot
take
of
it.
other running backs.
I take it.
A lot of other good running backs. Sure.
All right, so Darisaw, Bateman, and then I can't pronounce that first name. Vera Tucker goes
Vera
after.
Tucker.
Elijah, I think.
No to both of them.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay,
That would
look
only
at
be
these Niners. Niners trying to finesse. Look at that.
so we're in agreement. We're going Alabama, and we're going
Najee is
Roll
too strong,
Tide.
man. That guy is baby Saquon.
Roll
No,
Tide.
If someone's
not
saying
taking
offensive
O-line
line
yet.
here,
Not yet.
Nicholas Powell.
Pass?
If you don't get
Wait.
away from it.
Are you saying pass on the trade or Najee?
yeah. Wait, let's make sure of something really quick here.
I want to make sure Doc. Well, no, it's our choice. I'm moving forward. Not
Obviously,
what Doc says.
but
Yeah, no, we're getting Najee. You guys are giving me those quads. I need those
oh,
quads.
that hurts me right there.
What
Michael
does?
Parsons to the Patriots.
Oh, that'll drop. He's gonna drop.
Yeah,
That hurts
Those,
my
those
heart.
allegations they're not nice. And
Listen, I don't care about
Some
the
of them-
allegations. I don't care about anybody else right now. Just give me Najee. Exactly. Najee and a Coke and a smile. Okay, give it to me.
There you go,
Give
Najee
it-
Harris. Ooh! Wait, first of all, look at that 31. Look at pick number 31. All right, look at pick number 31, Michael.
Oh wait, he's a fast receiver, right? So
Oh
like
my
he can run
God.
downfield well. It's too bad his quarterback can't throw it more than like 15.
Oh my God, Brady would love Kadarius Tony. Oh
You're
my
not-
Lord.
We're not doing a
Anyways.
Dolphin show, and you're stuck on Kadarius, bro. You
I'm just saying.
Ooh, one
You
spot.
take this. You would have back-to-back picks, 37 and 38. We're doing a lot of trades. Obviously, this isn't realistic, but hey, it's for the fun of it.
who would we want right now?
Okay.
Would we go Creed right here?
No, Creed can be had later. He's a 53.
Remember, so look, think about this. If we trade back with Philly, we have back-to-back.
Oh.
So essentially,
And
we're
we
going
have
to
another,
pick
no, but
another
we have
without.
another. We have another pick at 50.
Go to all.
Yeah.
I just want to see all the
Another
players left available.
There's nobody here that I'm.
Jalen
super
Phillips
fond
is one.
I know that,
saw someone say.
Baron
Zayden
Browning looks
Collins.
pretty good. The linebacker out of
both
Ohio
been-
State.
Nick Bolton's gotten love. Jalen Phillips gotten love.
I would
Wyatt
probably,
Davis has gotten love.
trade back, take Nick Bolton if he's still there, and then
Terrence Marshall's getting love.
But what version of trade back? What do you mean essentially? Because
no, I'd make this trade.
I would as well.
It's
So
just
I guess
yeah, just do it.
whatever they
That's
pick.
what I'm
All right,
love
so they
with.
pick
Yeah, they pick the cornerback.
No, I'm good.
nah.
I'm good off of that. I would take right here. I would probably take Nick
I wouldn't do
Bolton.
this either. I'd take Nick Bolton.
So just so we can also kind of have everyone look at some of the draft. I know we just so we can get through since it breezes by. Just so everyone can see this is how kind of that end of the first round went. I'm only probably gonna do this for the first and like second round.
Yeah.
ETN goes to the Jets. That's an interesting pick.
I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot.
Mhm. Well, they don't have a running back.
Leatherwood goes
we
there.
confused by that?
Christian Barmore goes 32.
Mac Jones.
I go Nick Bolton here.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice that one.
Oh, that's
Holy
weird.
crap!
I'd go
Yeah.
Bolton here and then Phillips on the back-to-back.
So what was
I
the
would
first draft?
go.
Jamar Chase, Travis Etienne, and Mac Jones.
I would go Bolton, and I would probably just get my guy in either Creed or Landon Dickerson just to not stress it out.
I 100% agree with that. I want to get my guy now. Like I want to be able to go and get that
being
one.
from UM.
Say
Ooh,
again?
no. I'm just saying, out of the offensive lineman, I want to get my guy now. I don't want to take that risk of waiting until 50.
I'm fine with Bolton and taking Creed. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Just do it. Send it in.
Bolton, reject. Oh no, sorry, not defense. Offense. Creed Humphrey.
Yep. Creed Humphrey's a freaking beast.
And now, just so we can see kind of if all right, so the only offensive lineman taken was Jalen Mayfield, but like you take your guy. You take your guy.
Sure,
you want to we're on that.
I do wish Jalen Phillips would have fallen. I think he would be a decent edge for the team.
This Rams offer
Wait,
isn't that bad.
you're on just offense. I want to see all the players.
No,
Yeah,
I was also just
gonna
looking at
say. So
Wyatt
here-
Davis on the board. Asante
Oh,
Samuel's
Rondale
on the
Moore is
board.
still there though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as
Brown's
well.
still there.
Man,
Patrick
I might take Rondale.
Dylan Moses is there.
Ricky's asking if anybody drafted Tua. Listen, I'd trade all these picks for Tua again. I'll do
We
it.
got a lot of love for the Bolton pick, so hey,
Some people wanted
doing
Marshall.
something right.
Maybe
you
we
go.
get hired.
He is. No, I don't disagree with that. Jalen Phillips is injury prone. I will say this. As much as people are going to say that the defense played great, and I do think the defense played great, I do think this team could use an edge rusher, someone a little bit better that can come off of there so that you don't always have to send a blitz for pressure. Because when it was just four guys, no one was getting pressure. Like,
yeah, I kind of like a little more
Rondale.
jelly with Ron. Yeah, that's a little more jelly for me right there with Rondale Moore.
this stupid analogy.
Just so people can also see if anyone's just joining how our draft has gone through so far. Waddle, Najee, Bolton, and Creed. That's a fine first four picks right there.
Mhm.
That's a hell of a way to start.
That's a hell of a way to
Nicholas
start.
Powell. That's a great name to look for, like around the 4th, 3rd, 5th round. Tylen Wallace. I like him a lot.
Yeah, Tylen Wallace looks good. Listen, I did a Madden draft. Well, listen, I got him up to Superstar X Factor. Kid killed it for me
Oh my
Bro,
god!
didn't you just get your PS5 today? How did you get him all the way up there so high?
because I was playing on PC before that.
Oh, okay. I got
That's
you.
what you should be doing. PC.
No, listen, PS5 Madden is trash. Next gen,
It
to me,
is.
slow.
It's horrible.
It's so slow. I don't want to get into that right now. We're good. Give me Rondale Moore.
Catch game night 6 to 7 p.m. on OnSideRadio.com, and you'll get his rant for
Rondale,
that.
we're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Not Dylan. We already drafted a linebacker. Yeah. Give me Rondale.
I would have been fine with Dylan.
I gotta tell you guys, the next couple of picks, we gotta make Flores happy. He's not, he's probably
Really
not
quick,
happy
just to confirm, we're taking our
No,
guy
I
here.
think
We're not making
Rondale's
any
a good.
trades.
He's a really good wide receiver.
All
I
right,
think we got to
taking
take
our
him.
guy, Rondale Moore.
Give me that jelly.
Nah,
Nah, I don't want any of those.
I'm good. What was Dylan Moses goes 65, top of the 3rd round. Asante Samuel Jr.
Michael Carter's gone too. And listen, hey, Chaz Surratt, he's not the most
getting a lot of hype right now.
linebacker, but he's a smart linebacker.
So is this guy right here.
Go to defense.
Alphon was getting a lot of hype right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Defense, you said?
Yeah, please.
All the defense right here for you.
There's a late round defensive lineman that I really like from Notre Dame. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Ogundeji or something like that.
Yes, right here. Yeah.
He's
Where's
good.
he at? Yeah,
like
he's
Marvin Wilson
late
too.
round. He's one that I know late round.
Marvin
This
Wilson
one
is a
is-
big body
This
too.
is someone as well as people have been talking about. Just off
I
his-
would. Yeah. So wait, what's the full defensive board? Because there was another.
This is
name.
the full. This is the full. everything.
Rashad Weaver is somebody that people are really high on, but I think I might take Hamza.
So we're going defense right here.
Nasira.
I mean, let's try to be a little realistic. If we've gone with 4 picks, only one defensive player, Flores right
Yeah,
now
they go
is like
defense. Yeah.
he's dying to get another defense.
So I
I think
agree with this
safety's-
right here.
Yeah,
Edge
I think
and
safety's
safety.
a pretty good pick. I don't know so much about Rashad Weaver. I've watched a couple of his moments at the Senior Bowl. I don't know if he's much better.
Rashad Weaver, that's the Pittsburgh defensive lineman, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's they obviously comps and Pittsburgh and having 99 from there, so they try to bring that up a little bit with him, but I think right now we would look for either a defensive end or probably like a safety.
Yeah.
Probably more so a true free safety, just because Brandon Jones is kind of more.
So which one of these safeties are you looking at then, Juan?
It's kind of blurry for me. I like the
Let's bring
TCU safety. I don't know.
Bring
There
it
we
in
go.
like that.
The TCU safety I like. I've heard some things about the Florida State safety, not that I've personally seen them. And then Tyree Gillespie, I think it's pronounced, the safety from Missouri, is somebody we can have a little later, who I've seen make a couple plays.
Stuff from the chat. Also, this one right here, FSU safety.
Yeah,
Look,
that's
for
what I'm talking
reference, right? Just to look at another example, the Draft Network has Rashad Weaver down at 120 for overall prospect, right? And they have Nasir Dillon or whatever at 90. So take that as you will, but Basham's gone, right? I think Basham's higher on this list.
Probably, I haven't seen anything yet. Nope.
Oh, listen. Here's one that I think is much too low here. And yes, this is going to be my homerism coming out. But Quincy Roche, I would consider that.
Where did Rozier go?
Where, who?
The defensive lineman from Miami.
Rozier.
Oh, you mean Rousseau? Rousseau.
Oh, Rousseau. He went
Rousseau.
really early. He went 16.
16 to the Cardinals.
Interesting.
Oh,
So
he's
there you
a
go.
safety? Nah, I'm out then. I don't want to.
Yeah, we need more of a free.
Where's
Andres is also I've heard.
where's Roche on here? If you go to Edge,
Give me 1 second. Right
I know we can get him later. Draft boards are going to be all over the place because, again, for example, Draft Network has him at 53, which is
And
And this just for
I have
reference. This
And I have
is
to-
this is Tony Pauline's. So
Yeah.
this is directly from this isn't PFN's quote unquote. It's although Tony
Right.
Pauline's a part of PFN,
And,
but this is his draft board.
I take Edge right here because I think we can get another year out of Bobby better than we can find something else deeper to produce pressure off the edge.
And I got to tell you, this year out of any is probably going to be the most interesting because I don't think
Rob's
teams are
got a
going
point.
to be especially because free agency's first, right?
Oh, free agency is going to change everything.
Oh yeah.
But I just don't think this year's going to be the one where you see this is the year you're going to see teams play it safe. Like a player like Jamar Chase, I could see him dropping out of the top 10 altogether, man. And it's just because teams aren't going to have that face-to-face time. They're going to probably rely more so on what they have this year instead of trying to project because, man, this year's tough. And I don't know. I could see a lot of teams just going and getting their guys early. And on the later rounds, we're going to see kind of more so just straight Russian roulette, whoever hits
Straightforward.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I go Homer pick here. I go Roche. That's my vote.
I think I've gotten to the point in the draft where I'm just going to defer to you guys. So
I'll give the homer. However, let's get some comments in there. What is your take of that, Mike?
Homer.
I mean, his
Defend
Your homerism.
I'm still a Homer, right? So I still prefer right. Like Roche did have some moments where he looked like he took some plays off, but I think they could.
And that's a lot of what was talked about with oh my god, I can't remember his name. We cut him. Boise
Curtis
State.
Weaver.
Curtis Weaver.
Oh,
yeah.
Curtis Weaver. He's not Curtis Weaver though.
That's like a lot of the stuff that was with him is high motor guy, or not high motor, a guy that could do it, but just sometimes isn't there, takes plays off, questionable.
Raekwon had that type of vegetation.
And just take Rashad Weaver.
We're taking Rashad?
Why not? We'll just go with the board. Take Rashad.
All right. Well, if your guy's still there, then we take him. We'll see. You know, maybe
he'll be there. He's at. Oh, never mind. He's
gone.
Yeah,
where'd he go?
Honestly, the whole board.
Did I already miss him?
Oh, Atwell's gone too. No.
Sage Surratt goes 89 to the Browns.
He's a good wide receiver too.
Ooh, Kyle Trask to Washington. I actually don't think that's that bad of a pick. There you go, to the Browns.
Yeah, I didn't know we were at one.
Hey, the Browns always take players.
Yeah, they really do.
Good for them.
Andre Cisco goes to the.
That's why they've gotten better.
Broncos. Chuba Hubbard goes to the Giants. That's interesting.
So who's left?
116.
I've heard. Why have I heard of this Kenny your boy? I'm just gonna call him your boy.
Kenny Yeboah.
No, your boy. He's Kenny your boy now.
Kenny Yeboah.
From now on.
Offensive tackle. That's true. Doesn't need an offensive tackle, but is there anyone that you guys are looking at that shows any big thing right there?
I don't know any of these people.
Let's look up.
I know your boy because I remember his name coming up in things. Marvin Wilson. Isn't Marvin Wilson the one who had the biggest problems with what do you call him?
Wait.
With the head coach. Like when the head coach was
the one who kind of like he
stood
right? up. Yeah, he was Marvin Wilson. Which, by the way, he's a good player, but I think we've invested. I don't want to say too much on the D tackles, but I feel like we kind of have to start setting the edge a little more, and investing there. Lakers all day was. I think that's the first mention of DW on the comments, or have we had somebody else?
Hey, listen, do we want him? I mean, if it's a cheap trade, I'll take him. I'm not going to spend too much on him. I think we're in a good situation one way or the other, and people think that once you pick a side, you hate the other. So
yeah, we're not picking
whatever
side.
the Dolphins decide to do. I trust it. I think it's going to work out great. So
Dolphins.
The only name I know here is Marvin Wilson, so I'd take Marvin Wilson because that's the only one I know.
Just for reference with Yeboah, just like a pure stats point of view. Obviously, there's more than just stats. We're not like
you're talking about your boy?
Yes, not talking about we're not box score. What do they call them? Box score scouts, box score watchers. But just to comment on it, these are once we get more from a month now, a lot of us will be able to talk more. Again, this is our first mock draft sim from us. We'll probably have one that isn't a sim where we each probably take a pick in that. So maybe one of us goes 1, the other one 2, 3 in general, just for the listeners and everyone and viewers to see. But just from a stats point of view, he was at Temple for 4 years. And then this year he was at Ole Miss. It was his first and only year in the SEC as a senior. He had 27 receptions in 7 games played, 524 yards and 6 touchdowns. Just some, in terms of a stats thing.
Bad, so especially in the
SEC. It's not bad, and the SEC was only SEC play. Obviously, everyone in conference play, so not bad. But you get a defensive tackle, and we're trusting the comments on this one. You get Marvin. It says ESPN, but Marvin Wilson to replace Devon Gottschall. Gottschall will most likely be gone. So,
and if we can replace Gottschall, maybe we can put Wilkins to play more edge.
Yep.
He's already played some edge, but maybe we can have him do more of that. I take Wilson. It's the only one I know.
And there we go.
Oh, look at Cap. We will always be divided. We will never be conquered.
Listen, that's
I'm gonna tattoo that. I'm gonna put it on a hat. I'm gonna put it on a shirt. I'm gonna make keychains.
Okay, wait. I know one other name.
Here's someone that Chat was talking about was Paris Ford. Chat was talking about a little earlier.
There were.
I'm trying to find it.
No, if Chat said it, I trust Chat.
Where was it? There you go. Rob! Yeah.
This guy's
Rob. Rob has donated before, so I'm going with Rob. Rob's my favorite guy. I don't even look at anybody else. Paris Ford. Just don't even look at it. Just do it.
Hey, Rob, you say the word and we're making the pick, bro.
Rob did say the word.
I mean, all right. So he said, all right. Screw it.
Listen, I trust Rob even if he's not here right now. He could be Robin Burger King right now. He was yesterday. So.
There you go. So
our biggest whiff. This thing, our biggest whiff was offensive tackle. I don't think we need an offensive tackle.
I don't think we desperately need. I think we need a center more than we need anything.
Oh, wait, so what we end up with?
Honestly, yeah, like let's look at what we end up with.
We ended up, and we'll bring it in a little bit bigger for everyone to see. I know it's still probably a little. Huh?
Are you missing the top of that? Why did
yeah. I kind of went down a little bit. So in terms of what we traded, we got a first round pick in 2022 from Carolina.
Trades, I think.
Yeah, we made a good amount. Five trades.
Okay.
We got the first rounder from Carolina next year, which who knows, it could be valuable, it could not. Indy's third and Philly's fifth. Start off in terms of the trades. It's not going to show all of them, unfortunately, but we made that trade with the Panthers. Went down to 8, picked Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, we went from 3 to 5 to 7 to 8.
Yeah. Or no, from 3 to 5 to 6 to 8. So I think that was a good. I mean, we'll bring it in a little bit here now, just so we can talk about that. I think the first
friends of five. Rob said it. Rob's donated, right? So because he's donated, I'm leaning on him. He didn't.
It was our first donation. Friends of five. You back up.
No, I appreciate you, friends. But I have a soft spot for Cap, right? He's,
listen.
That is our
we went with what Rob.
You see, here he goes. But there's the.
There we go. Heads the bet.
Go. We're good.
There you go.
Friends, right?
We trust Rob right here.
Never conquered. All Rob.
I think that the first 5 is a very, in terms of just a solid draft. If it pans out, that's a very, very solid. I mean, you get.
I mean, we got him.
I feel like
we got 2 weapons. We got him a center he could grow with. We got him his best friend in Najee Harris. I mean, we got Flores some new pieces to work with. I don't know. Can I just send this to? Is there a forward to Chris Greer button, or do we tag the Dolphins? Like, what do we do now?
I think
again, and Doc is mentioning it again. We got 2 first-round picks next year.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the big.
That to me is the one thing holding me back on all the Watson trade stuff is I don't want to give up 3, right?
Yeah.
Because 3 and Big O says this all the time on his show. 3 is multiple picks. Personally, I'm not taking Smith at 3 because we can have more, right? I think Smith is fantastic, but I think we can get a receiver if we drop down 2, 3, 4 spots, right? That we all like. So listen, I want to keep 3 just to trade it away. If we can get another first round pick for next year, that's great.
House money, man.
Yep.
That's house money we're playing with right now.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think we need an offensive tackle either. I know we've all said that. I don't think that.
Nah, I'm good.
I don't think that we desperately need a center. Is the thing for me. We need a center. We have to come away with a center. Like that's the big one. Whether it's Creed or Dickerson,
and friends of 5 said it right. Creed Humphrey he has some problems with speed guys sometimes. If we face a speed guy, he'll either bulk up and get better, right, and actually be able to handle it, or we'll double team that guy and figure out the rest. I think there's room to go, especially at the center position. But I'm watching him in the reps, and he is manhandling the people in front of him at Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I just don't want to miss out on another center. Last year, I was really high on Cesar Ruiz, the center from Michigan.
We lost out on a lot of guys with that.
Yeah,
and Ruiz,
and he ended up going to the Saints. I think he went to, and he had a great year, man.
Oh,
one of the guys.
Doc is asking for Sewell.
Yeah, everyone is.
I
don't do it. Last time
he's good, but
my thing is my PTSD just it reminds me of Jake Long, Matt Ryan, and I understand it's 2 different scenarios.
That hurts me.
But one of those players is still playing to this day, whether it's good or bad or whatever it may be. I don't know.
But that was our first mock draft. I think that ended up fantastic. We made 12 trades, which is very unrealistic. But if the trades are there, I'd make them. We all know who our top picks are. Definitely make sure to continue to follow 3 Yards Per Carry and all of us on Twitter, as we're going to keep talking about the Senior Bowl and everything going on there. A lot of news coming out. We're also going to be right on top of it whenever the offensive coordinator position does get announced. You guys, if that gets announced this week, I'd be down to coming back for another stream.
Yep.
If it's not Ken Dorsey, then I'm going to go into hibernation.
Okay.
It's going to be just you and Mike. Me and Mike.
If it's Godsey or something,
in my heart, I think it's going to be Godsey. I even tweeted that earlier this week. I said I want Ken Dorsey, but I think it's going to be Godsey. Yeah. So we'll see. The only thing is that they haven't announced it yet, and you would think
if it was him,
it was internal, it would have been announced. So
would have been announced. That's my feeling with it. But obviously, a lot of big Dolphin stuff. Going to be a busy offseason. And at some point, Watson's going to come back up again. It just is. Whether people are just using us as leverage or we're actually in trade talks, it is what it is. We'll all see that.
His agent is pulling Elise Steinberg. Let's
his agent is making some big moves. But you can follow us all on Twitter. You'll see our ats on here. Kai, you can listen to him every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Onside Radio for Kai's Corner. You can also listen to myself every day on Onside Radio weekdays from 6 to 7 for game night. We talk about video games and sports, and today we talked about anime, which was actually a lot of fun. So
how about I don't
have me in for that conversation,
listen, you guys, I'm bringing you guys on next week. Next week is going to be full of guests, right? I'm bringing you guys and my Clutch Corner people, right? So I'm bringing all 5. We're doing a full week. Appreciate you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to check out 3 Yards Per Carry podcast. As always, it's probably dropping later this week. There's so much going on.
I think they already dropped it tonight.
Oh, did they?
No.
Great.
Yes.
3 Yards Per Carry tonight. Definitely go check that out. Thank you guys so much for being here. We look forward to giving you great Dolphins coverage the rest of this offseason into next year. See you guys and have a good night.
Peace.
Have a great one, guys.
Hands up.